Welcome to 24-Hour Sports. As you can see, we back with the first NFL postseason mock draft. We doing trades. We doing everything. We looking at it from a realistic standpoint. I'm putting on my GM hat. We gonna do it all. We trying to build these teams and find the best player for each team and put them in the best position that they can be possible going into the 2024-2025 NFL season. That's what I'm here to do. That's what you here to comment. I want to know what you think about these moves. I want to know what you think, who you think your team should get. Let's get into it. So the first thing I'm gonna do, what's interesting is I see it being no way possible that the Chicago Bears would want to give they will want to pick right here. I don't see it. I don't see why they would want to pick right here. They need to build a roster. They have a quarterback. I don't think Will Anderson Jr. is someone that you draft at number one. I'm looking at these quarterbacks, and I think that's who these teams are trying to get. So your way around this, on a serious note, I'm looking at this year. I'm trying to maximize what I can get while Justin Fields is still on that rookie contract. I know I'm going to attack free agency. I see the Seattle Seahawks. I see they have the 5th pick, and I see they have the 20th pick. I'm looking at the Seahawks perspective too. Do I want to build around Geno Smith, or do I want to get this number one pick and get a quarterback? Do I believe CJ Stroud or Bryce Young can take me to that promised land with the DK Metcalf, with the defense that we have? That's something that we seriously have to consider. Detroit Lions, are we satisfied with Jared Goff? This is really a tough one. I don't think that you make the playoffs with Geno Smith and move on. So let's propose. Let's get the trading. That's the first trade we got coming up, man. So let's see the picks. We can get the 4th pick and a 2nd round pick if we're Chicago. Is that worth it? We know Indy needs a quarterback. Let's say we get Indy's. We get their 1st. We get their 2nd. And their 4th. Trade was declined. Okay. See, now we added some nuance to it. Now you can see. Okay, so I put on my GM hat. They didn't want that. So maybe it's because I did it this way. If I do it the other way around, will they? Oh, okay, cancel. If I do it the other way around, will they accept it? Maybe I did it. Maybe I did the trade backwards. Maybe I did that. So I want the 1st and the 4th. Or is Indy going to give me this? 3, 2. Our trade has been accepted. All right, so Indy number 1 on the board. That's that cold weather. That's where you want that dog. I gotta go CJ Stroud. And this is perfect because Houston, by all indications, wants Bryce Young. So we see CJ Stroud coming off the board, number 1. We see Bryce Young coming off number 2. Let's go ahead and book it in. Let's book that in. I'm gonna pull up your team needs. That's what I'm gonna do for you. I'm gonna pull up your team needs, and this is something we gonna use as a guideline to follow as we go through this. So right now we on the Arizona Cardinals. I think clear cut. I mean, I already knew who I was picking right here. I think clear cut Will Anderson is the best non QB in the draft. Okay, so this is where we spice it up. Okay, let's say that this is where we spice it up. Chicago. I see Jalen Carter, dominant player, but I think honestly, Chicago, talk to me right here. Comment below. Comment below who the Bears should take at number 4. I see Quentin Johnson. Do we want to get him a weapon? Do we want Chase Claypool, Darnell Mooney, and Quentin Johnson? That sounds like a solid receiving core. Or do we want to protect him? Do we want Paris Johnson? I think we build this team from within. I'm going offensive tackle because the offensive line is bad. I got to. And this is a deep wide receiver class, so we gonna come back to that. Like I said, we could attack that in the second round. We picked up that pick. So right here, we gotta go Paris Johnson, offensive lineman. Seattle Seahawks, this is not even up for debate. Jalen Carter has been linked to them for so long because, that's just, they need that. They need interior. You don't want to draft a linebacker this high. And I think Jalen Carter he's one of the elite ones. I think he's an elite defensive lineman. So to get him at number 5, you feeling good about yourself if you Seattle. Going to Detroit, I went corner in my first mock draft to pair with Okuda, and I think I go corner again. The same guy that I linked with this team in my first mock draft, Kelly Ringo, welcome to Detroit. Oakland Raiders. Now this is where it gets spicy. Because do we go Miles Murphy with Chandler Jones getting older? Is that where we want to take it? Let me look at the needs. I like their weapons. All they got to do is stay healthy. I like that. I like Jarrett Stidham. I think I would give him a full season before I go all QB mode because I think he was decent enough to show you something, ride with him another season. And right here, I don't see these guys being generational quarterbacks. And your roster is not good enough to draft a project. So that's why I wouldn't go Will Levis or Anthony Richardson. No, I'm not doing that. Is 7? Is this a position where we see a trade down? Because I don't see Quentin Johnson in that offense. Miles Murphy, they need production. They're not producing on sacks. They're not. So Trenton Simpson is a linebacker that I like. Noah Sewell is a linebacker that I like, but we have a trade. I just think there's a better way to play this than to go Miles Murphy because that's the guy that I would go right there. And New England, let's look at their team needs. You start to see what I'm doing here. This is not characteristic by New England, but this ain't Bill Belichick. This Daryl Green playing the GM. So sit back and let me make these moves. I'm going to go ahead and do this one right here. I think it helps out both teams so you don't find yourself reaching because I don't see anybody in there that you would need. Like I said, Miles Murphy. Raiders fans, let me know how you feel about me passing up on Miles Murphy because y'all haven't produced in sacks this season. Get somebody opposite Max Crosby, Chandler Jones. Just add more depth. Let me know how y'all feel about that. I'm letting that go, and maybe we can come back to an edge. But we don't want to go right here because I think there's more edges. I think there's other positions. And this works out. Trade has been accepted. New England. When's the last time New England had a guy like this? When is the last time? Nobody can tell me. We got him. Quentin Johnson, welcome to New England. You the number one receiver. We looking at you to be a top 10. Top 10 receiver in your rookie season. We need it. Let's go. Atlanta Falcons. Now, I can go Myles Murphy here. I say we get Myles Murphy off of the board. Let's go ahead and get him. Let's get a dog in that room. Maybe we can move some edge guys inside. But at this point, we just need football players. Like I said, building a roster, that's what they have to do. The Carolina Panthers, I like their linebackers. Another receiver, I think. Maybe a Will Levis. I mean, we see receivers and linebackers. That's not ideal for this team. I like Shaq Thompson. I like Frankie Louvu. I would have to go Carolina. They just drafted Matt Corral. They just tried Baker Mayfield. I'm going to go Will Levis. For Carolina. They got to get it turned around. They got to get somebody. I think Will Levis can make the throws. I think he has the arm talent. Like I said, the thing with me and him in Kentucky, it's always just been that he hasn't had, the proper infrastructure. That was the only thing with me. I just didn't think that Kentucky could compete with some of those other teams that they played. They had a tough schedule. Philadelphia, I think this is a foregone conclusion. I've linked Brian Brzee to this team for the longest. Fletcher Cox or Hargrave, one of those guys is gonna go. You like to play those two inside guys. So to my belief, Jordan Davis is solid. You get Brian Brzee, that's a front four. That's a front four to kill right there. Don't forget to subscribe on the video. Road to 800 at 800 subs. We announcing the details of the 1K subs giveaway. We out.